time for you to know and for us to start our show. Have a drink and take a seat here on Brewsic and Boozies.
What is that from? Oh, sent that like from the Grinch?
No.
And she's like,
it's supposed to be Rudolph.
Oh.
Bye, bye.
I just realized that
Rudolph.
your name on here is SJJCC.
Oh,
Your
wait,
job
shoot.
is your
Hold
title.
on. Hang up. I'm on Joe's.
Why?
I just
Is that
realized.
bad?
I don't think No, I don't think so. I think it's
you're
fine.
recording on mine. It's fine.
All right.
You know what I realized we don't
now.
do? I'm not cutting out any of that beginning part.
What's that?
We never like start off and introduce the show again. We're always just diving right in. So I feel like moment of pause. Welcome to Brewsic and Boozies. I'm Becky and this is Chris. Say hi, Chris. Or don't say hi. No, say it with your voice.
Hi. Hello.
We typically, drink drinks and talk about movies. And if the movie is extra special, we'll talk about the soundtrack and the orchestration, stuff like that. But yeah, we're basically bar chatting over Zoom. That was a bad description.
It's like a third or fourth date kind of show.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And we are continuing our Romancuary series where we talk about Rom Coms in January, which will probably roll into February because we have more ideas that we need to continue. But this week we're talking about a movie. What movie are we talking about?
We're talking about Crazy, Stupid, Love.
I love the way you said it. Yay, I'm very excited. I know you're excited.
Crazy,
for this one too.
comma, stupid, comma, love. All right. So how do we want to start this off with the introduction of this movie? How about this time you tell me your first time seeing this movie, which is basically every time.
Well, I actually saw this in the movies. My brother and I were we love Steve Carell. Obviously, The Office had just ended when this came out, maybe, or it was still going on. I can't remember. So we were super excited because of Steve Carell. And we literally ran to the movie theaters to see this for some reason with friends. So I saw it the weekend it came out,
cool.
I think. Yeah, we were really excited and loved it.
And you were that big of a fan of The Office, I'm assuming, to go see that then.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it every episode on TV. I loved that show.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of, I have that same experience now with this movie much, much later because I saw The Office only a few years ago, but I loved it and I watched it 3 or 4 times of the series in a row. After it ended, I watched it all over again when it was on Netflix. I was able to just stream it. Mm-hmm. But before I even do that, I was going to ask, what are you drinking?
Oh, okay. Well, because they drink a lot. I
was going to bring that up. Should we wait to expose our drinks because it's kind of part of the themes in this movie is drinking?
No, I think we can lead into it because we don't really have much about early memories of this movie to talk about because it just came out 10 years ago. So it's
not that old. Yeah,
it's not that old.
But it's a Romancuary favorite.
Yes, it is a Romancuary favorite. I wanted to do something fancy with the ingredients that I had in my house. So I looked it up and I made this fancy green apple cucumber cocktail. That's not very good.
Wow.
But for anyone who wants to try
you were very excited about this.
I was really excited and it's not good. It's apple juice, cucumber, gin, and a slice of green apple. And the recipe called for mint, but I had no mint. And then you just put it in a shaker and shake it up. And I give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
What do you got? I know you said you had something special too.
It's hard to tell maybe, but can you see what it is with the orange?
Oh my God, you have the orange peel.
I thought this would be perfect. Good. But you want to know something?
What?
This is Di Serono. I was too lazy to go get the bourbon and I wanted something sweet. I'm like, let me just go get this and see how it tastes. I don't think the orange is really affecting it. It's actually good with the orange, actually.
I feel like, isn't Di Serono like citrusy? Maybe I'm wrong.
It's sweet. It almost has like it's apricot.
Mm.
It tastes like a rainbow cookie to me. That's in liquid form. It's
Yeah.
awesome. You never
We're
tried
very
it?
fancy. Di Serono? No,
Oh
I've
yeah,
never had
I'm
it.
just like, I'm like, cheers to me. Like, cheers.
I'll have to get a bottle and try it. Although I
I
don't
said
know
this is
if
gonna
that's-
be, it's probably gonna be a nice buzzed episode because I rarely drink on the show now. So
I rarely see you drink straight alcohol.
the
Straight
most
liquor.
I think I ever drank on a show, I know like one of your episodes to me. I can't remember exactly what movie it was, but I can remember like what you were drinking, and by the end you were just like falling out. You're pretty buzzed at the end. I don't.
Oh,
I remember.
it?
I remember it happening. I don't remember what episode or what movie it was.
It was an earlier episode because I was in my basement.
Yeah,
recording.
it was one of our first 10, or say one of those.
Yeah,
and I'm saying we're coming up close on our anniversary for the show.
We are. Do you remember the day we started?
It's in February.
Wow, a whole year. Yeah, we'll have to do something special for our anniversary.
Yeah,
once we know the date.
Yeah. It's nice.
But yeah, that's what we're drinking.
But yes, and I was gonna say, but I had saw this movie at a friend's house. So, and it was on TV, and I was watching it, and I was like, I had the ending of this movie came on towards the end. Quick, you see Emma Stone, and they're all at the house.
With like the reveal
party scene,
of like
which
that...
we'll get into because it's one of those things.
There's a couple of like twists and turns.
Yeah, and the person I was with was like, "Oh, you never seen this movie?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this person's in it. That person's in it." It had quite a cast from what I could see, but I didn't know that but that scene had like everybody in the movie. So I'm like, whoa. So I was like, oh, cool. I got to check this out. And I had kind of the movie explained to me at that point. So I had known all the details, but I didn't know how it happened. So it was nice to actually watch this movie, I guess last year, from beginning to end, and knowing exactly. I was like, oh, I really need to watch that movie. And
so it was recently,
and being more of a fan now of Ryan Gosling because of this movie. Really appreciate him because I always thought he was just a kid from Remember the Titans. I'm not gonna lie. I thought nothing special.
Oh, he's so goofy in that movie. I love it.
Right. He's just like, he reminded this kid from like elementary school. He looked a little bit like, and I'm like, is that him? and then
Oh, that was Ryan Reynolds we were talking about, but was that the first thing you saw Ryan Gosling in that you remember seeing him in?
Yes, I remember seeing that guy. Remembering he looks just like a kid I went to elementary school with, and that's all I could think about the entire movie.
The first time I saw him, no, it might have not been the first time I saw him, but it's the first time I remember him in a movie, is a movie called Murder by Numbers. It's him.
Oh yeah.
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
The kid from Boardwalk Empire, and I can't think of his name. That movie's so good. I love that movie. It's very underrated. But that's the first time I remember seeing him. He's very dark and serious in that movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then I noticed like he does a lot of those dark movies and dramas now. That's kind of his style.
Yeah, Place Behind the Pines, Place Between the Pines.
But what's great is like I didn't love that Russell Crowe movie. I know a lot of people do. I think you like it, right? What was that weird Russell Crowe movie he did where they're like buddies and like buddy cops in like the 70s?
The Other Guys? No.
Yes.
Nice
the other
Guys.
No.
Or is it
no,
The Other
sorry.
Guys?
Yes. The Other Guys is with Will Ferrell and
yeah, it's the
Mark.
Guys or Nice Guys. I liked that movie. It was
The
charming.
Nice Guys. Another movie I watched at a friend's house that I was like kind of like, this movie's not really what I want to be watching. So maybe that had something to do with it. But yeah, I just didn't love it. I don't know. However, that being said, I really appreciate watching this movie, and I did like him in Drive. Was a crazy movie.
Oh my god, that movie's crazy.
That movie's crazy, but he's amazing in that too. And
yes, I agree.
I'm not sure how I liked the movie, but he was good in it. And then he's great in what was that movie he did as well? I thought he was really good in. Oh, I did like him in Blade Runner, the sequel. I thought he was great.
I didn't see it.
It's long. Is it great?
So is the original.
I thought it was a nice try for a movie trying to recapture that world. That makes sense. And do it in a contemporary way.
I can't make it through the original. It puts me to sleep.
Slow burns, and you got to just appreciate what that movie is trying to be, philosophical and deep at the same time, a science fiction like futuristic movie at the same time. So
no, I'm out.
It's like kind of like
I'm like
has that not Matrix, but Matrix-esque, where it's you're trying to be more than what is like shown to you. So that's all right. Anyways, that's my spiel on Ryan Gosling. I like him in this movie a lot. So
before can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I just want to make sure because my mic thing isn't like lighting up. Anyway,
I hear you. So
since this cast is like insane, let's run down the cast before we get into the movie.
Yes.
So we have, Ryan Gosling, we already talked about. Steve Carell, already talked about him. Julianne Moore, Kevin Bacon, Emma Stone, John Carroll Lynch. Who else am I missing?
Who is that? That's the dad of Jessica.
Yes. Oh, Jessica's like a model. She's like an America's Next Top Model. I can't think of her name.
Is she really?
She was. Okay. I mean, this movie came out in 2011. So
yeah, she's super young. So
Joey King is in this. She plays the one of the daughters. But she like has like two speaking lines. Do you know who the son is?
So I don't think he acts anymore, but I remember seeing him on a random YouTube video of him just playing guitar with somebody. Like it looked like his school. And everybody in the comment section is like, is that the kid from Crazy and Stupid? But
he's cute. Marisa Tomei. Almost
Robbie.
Marisa
I was going to say, Marisa, who is
Tomei.
such a cameo and is amazing. And,
and
I like it more now, having just seen Spider-Man, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I thought it was such a different movie for her. She's amazing.
I mean, I always think
you're right. It's a packed cast. And it's like the first time I went through it, when I saw Marisa, I lost it. You know how much I love Marisa. So I like lost it.
I always forget because they don't do that reveal until, you see her in the movie and then there's the reveal of who she actually is.
Right. You hear her, you don't see her.
Yeah.
And I have pretty good like actor voice recognizing capabilities, whatever you want to call it. So but her voice can sound like a million other people. So it's really hard to recognize that. You have to really know that to figure that out.
It's not like she's doing that Brooklyn accent from.
Not even that. Just her natural voice. You kind of have to see her face to put together.
Yeah, definitely.
It's cool though. All right. So where do you want to start with this? But I said the intro of this movie, but it's I just, like I said, just after this rewatch, I appreciate it much more for the drama, not so much the comedy.
Yeah. Like the serious moments. I think that's why I like this rom-com, because it's not too cheesy, like the dramatic parts. Like they're very realistic.
No. Because it's like there's serious moments that play like a comedy, but then there's like comedic moments that play like a drama. It's crazy how they are able to do that. And you mentioned to me you texted me like as you were watching it, you're like, I can't believe how good the writing is in this movie. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. It has crazy writing ability, like just the story plots and how they twist and turn, and then that's almost like you probably need like a red tape thread to like figure all this out almost. So
but it all it unfolds so nicely.
Yes. It's great.
I think the writer had Steve Carell in mind when he was writing this script for him, for that character. And I want to say it's based on his real life too, like parts of this movie.
Steve Carell?
No, the writer. And I can't remember who wrote this movie, but I think the writer, it's based on his life. But when he was writing it, he had Steve Carell in mind for Cal's character. So he wrote it with him in mind, which is great because he's so perfect at that. Just like that dad that like lost himself, like that opening
he's
scene.
Pretty much Steve Carell. He's pretty much Michael Scott in this movie. It's very little like differences, except he's more of a dad.
Yeah.
To my like his range, like I said, I wanted to mention this. My first time ever seeing Steve Carell, I think most of us, was in Bruce Almighty. So, and I remember
or Anchorman. I don't know what came first.
It was it was
Bruce Almighty.
It was Bruce Almighty, yeah, because I just got into middle school. That came out when I was in high school. That's how I know the differences. Yeah,
gotcha.
Bruce Almighty's like 2001 or 2 or something like that. So he was just the guy.
Yeah.
I remember my friend was in the back of the bus. We were coming home from band camp whole things. And he's like, "Could we put on Bruce Almighty so we could just watch that guy go?" Like no one knew who he was at the time. And I could tell from based off the bloopers of that movie that they show at the end, which I love. You see him; he has a straight face like the whole time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was on Dave Carvey's show. He did a bunch of other stuff, but he made it big once he got on The Office, which was happening.
Was it the Daily Report?
Yeah. What's that?
Daily Report? Was it the Daily Report with Jon Stewart, or was it Stephen Colbert? He was on one of those, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds probably.
I think
but
so.
He was. I know years ago, like in the '90s, that's where he started out. Was on Dana Carvey's show. So
yeah.
He talks about that too.
I feel like he's always a comedian, but more recently he's been taking on serious roles. Like he was in that movie with Timothy Chalamet.
Well, I think this movie proves, and you see it on The Office too, but it's a very different type of drama.
Yeah.
For, like those moments, but like this movie really see his drama act chaps.
Yeah.
I can't even say it right.
Chops.
Chops. I meant to say
not his chaps. His chops.
Yes, he's wearing his chaps the entire time.
Yeah, I mean he's a very good serious actor, and I feel like most comedians are, because comedy is the hardest form of acting to me. Like it is very hard to be funny, and if you could do that, you could do anything.
Yeah, most actors say that the comedy world is much more difficult than anything else, because you have to make it funny even if it doesn't seem funny.
And a lot of comedic actors are good at serious roles. They're like Jim Carrey and
I think because they can just bring that level of like whatever to that whatever that scene of like that whatever that emotion needs to be. And like comedic acting, they say, is all about timing, like how to say the lines, make it funnier, or just how to like deliver it. So
I'm not good
it's
at
interesting to me. I'm not an actor, so I wouldn't know
either. I'm also not funny, so
haha. That made me laugh.
I love the opening to this movie where it starts with just like right into it with "I want a divorce," and he has those like dad shoes on, and they're at the dinner,
the New Balance,
and then the New Balances, which my dad has them. I don't know about your dad, but my dad has those.
My brother has them.
And my brother also has them. Too. Yeah, they both have them. My brother, I'm like, oh god, no!
It's like those exact New Balance shoes, yeah.
And I love when he rolls out of the car. It's just so extreme.
No, yeah.
Like he just like that's the only option is for him to just roll out. But it speaks to his character, because he just doesn't want to have that conversation with her. He just wants to get away from it. Do whatever you want.
Well, I think that's what's so great to set up in this. Right. I think that's so great to set up in this movie, where you just feel for this guy instantly. They don't wait for this ball to drop on this guy. It is like within a minute of the movie starts. Like this guy's breaking up with his wife. And
you kind of learn.
Why is it so funny? I don't know, but it is.
Oh, it's so funny. Well, you don't know anything about him, right? Like, so it's funny because one, you feel bad for him because he just got like his wife wants divorce. It's funny for that very same reason. But then as the movie goes, you kind of learn more about their relationship, about his life, and you're like, well. But
it tells you a lot without saying anything. Like you see his style of clothing, and it's like he's kind of just let go of himself, and he's like, I'm a worn out dad and husband. Not that I stopped caring. It's just that's just how it is right now.
He lost. He lost himself. He lost his
but
fire.
I mean, I don't speak from experience clearly, but I just found that interesting from just a story point. Like this is where he started out. Like you see him get to this point to start with. So, and that just helps like just let the movie unfold. And it's just like it's kind of cool how this movie is, because it's everybody's little story, even though it starts with Steve Carell's what was his name, Cal and Julianne Moore, but then how it just kind of just shifts, kind of just like what do you call this? Almost like an anthology, maybe. Right? It's just like
it's like
chapters.
Those like
it's like
it's like
this person,
Valentine's Day movie, or like the New Year's Eve movies that all have like different stories.
Exactly what I was thinking, like that Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Right, and how they all cross paths, and how it all just kind of bounces off each other's stories to create more or better, it's like worse problems for each other. So cool.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about, I don't know if there's anything, because in between you just kind of get like set up of story, but then he goes to the bar, and I will never, ever, ever forget the name David Lindhagen. Ever. Even as I'm watching the movie, I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie, I
Lindhagen.
forgot about it, and I was trying to remember it before the start of this movie, because I remember like, what's Kevin Bacon's name again? And I'm like, I know they say it over and over again. It's just
over and over again.
It's just been a minute. Yeah.
I love it. And then his best friend breaks up with him because his wife told him that they can't be friends anymore. And he gives him cologne. No, he starts the conversation with, sorry, I had to stop off at Macy's. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then it's because he had to buy him cologne. It's just the way he delivers that. It's just so funny to me. And I'm like, oh.
I know. And I feel terrible for that reason, that I don't know who's ever done that. No, I've never heard of anyone doing that.
No, me either. No, it's really hilarious. And I love John Carroll Lynch. To me, he can do everything.
What is he from again? I know he's from a bunch of things. I just couldn't put it together.
He's been in so many things. Most recently, he was in Mindhunter. He played John Wayne Gacy. Okay. No, I forget who he plays in Mindhunter. He's the clown in American Horror Story. Oh my God, he's been in so many things, and my brain is escaping me right now.
He has such a dad look, though, too.
Yeah, he does have like a very dad look. Like, I think he plays a dad a lot.
The shirt and vest they give him is like, that's like ultimate dad.
Oh, I just watched an episode of CSI and he was in it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like him.
Very dad look.
Yeah.
And then we get the introduction.
And I said, like, I felt like, okay, I think my whole point of watching this movie, like I said, I was trying to follow the steps up into that moment I already saw from years ago. So I wanted to see how it all unfolded, like you said. But it really shows so much more, not just characters, but just like, I didn't know that this movie basically is just Hitch. It really is.
I don't remember Hitch.
You never saw Hitch?
Well, I did. I saw it in the movies, Smith? And like I saw it in the movies.
Yeah,
that was last time
it's like, well, it was like not exactly, but it's just he's like the love doctor, and they go to him, and he gets him made over and teaches him, how to be smooth and things like that. So
then basically
that's
kind of the same movie.
The whole but it ends up having Hitch being the one who has the girl trouble because he actually can't handle love either. It's pretty much there. I wonder if it's the same year, by the way, that this movie came out.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what year Hitch
came out. It's similar. Yeah. I enjoy that movie too, but it is very different. Don't compare the two because
it's more of a comedy.
Yeah, but like I said, like I have never been to a bar exactly like that. Maybe one time, and not like that upscale,
like a fancy cocktail bar. I mean, that's
you're sitting at like a lounge, but that's another thing. They all just somehow go to the same bar.
I don't know. That's a real bar in LA.
That's a movie move, which I'm fine with.
I forget which bar that is in LA, but it is a real bar. I don't necessarily.
But they all go to it.
Bar, yeah, like that would be a bar that I would just like wander in, like. It's like everyone goes there. Also, like later in the movie, Emma Stone like walks there from somewhere from the mall, and it bothers me. I'm always like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
it's not close. So
it's like they filmed all the bar scenes when they had the bar.
Yeah. So apparently Ryan Gosling. They did something similar to that where they did film all the bar scenes at one time, but you can hear the music in the background, and obviously on a movie set they don't play music.
That's him playing piano in the background. Yeah.
No, they're not. Oh, him playing piano? No, it's not. No, he like was yelling because he's supposed to be talking over music, but there was no music playing, so he's just like they filmed all these scenes at like 8 a.m. and he's like yelling lines at the top of his lungs at 8 a.m. at a bar, which is very different than like the vibe that they're trying to give off. I think that's funny.
That is funny. It's like, but yeah, I just love the idea of this guy feels so poor, so badly for this guy that he has to take him under his wing, and he's like, "I'm gonna help you. Why? Because you remind me of somebody." And it's just like, that's it. Yep. That's it. I wish somebody would say that to me.
You want someone to do that?
Like that? No, I don't. But I'm saying, like, yes and no. I would just like it would be a lot of fun just have somebody just say, well, he has whatever he has on his credit card to buy all these fancy things anyways for himself, because he makes him buy it for himself anyways. But
yeah,
like, oh, you're gonna get, but like to him to tell him exactly what to get. Like, you gotta get this. You need this particular thing. You gotta say this and do that and be this fake person in order to get yourself over your marriage. And it's because this is gonna help you stop the pain. Like, this is it. Like, which is, I think, you know, a lot of us try to do that to ourselves. We kind of like pretend to be another person after the fact, something to plan out right. So it's like, oh, don't worry about that. I'm going to start a new chapter and be a whole new person. So I like that whole storyline a lot.
Yeah. It's very relatable. And
that's it.
And that's it?
No.
What? No.
That's the only part I like about the movie. No.
The only one. So in the midst of this happening too, we find out that his son Robbie also has a crush on the babysitter, who's 3 years older than him, something like that, right?
Now,
like,
at what point did you find this icky?
So then we find out the babysitter has a crush on Cal, who is the adult. That is icky to me. More icky than the teenager having a crush on a teenager.
Yeah, that's a little bit better, because that's typical of a boy having a crush on
the other way around, like all of that makes me uncomfortable. I'm always like, ugh.
But like, he has no sense of style. He's just a nice dad. That's it. And that's all it works for her. That's it.
And and then I don't know, it's just so weird to me. And then she like takes it above and beyond, and I'm like, please stop. This is icky.
Yeah, she's so lost as a girl. It's like, I'm gonna go for this dad. I've given up on. I have no interest in any boy my age, but this dad does it for me.
I don't know. I don't get it. I mean,
but that's the thing. It's called crazy, stupid love.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
It's got to be crazy. It's got to be stupid. But we
and
also
I know it gets a lot of love. Her affection for him gets a lot of criticism, I think, like on the internet. Like, people are just like, I mean, there's something wrong with like I don't know, what is she, 16, 17 years old, taking nudes and like sending it to an adult. It's a little disturbing. I mean, he never sees them, he never gets them, but still, I don't know. It's
no, right. But but still, it's like they're showing what girls are like that age. It's kind of a poor representation of girls that age, but you know what? It happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, tell you. It's a very small part of the story that pushes the plot a little bit along later on, but the nudes make me uncomfortable.
It delivers for an awesome and hysterical part of the movie. But I totally agree. Anyway, she's great.
I'm
sorry, what were you gonna say?
I could have sworn she was on a season of America's Next Top Model. Something happened to her, like she almost got sold to like a Saudi Arabian prince. Something crazy. Yeah, like something crazy like that. I don't something along those lines. I don't know the exact specifics of it, but yeah, very strange circumstances for her. Yeah.
Ooh, crazy.
Were you gonna say something?
Stupid. Love.
Speaking of funny, we were just talking about funny. Any scene that Ryan Gosling is with Steve Carell is just everyone in this movie has such good chemistry together. Every character, when they're on screen together, just lights up the screen. Like, we all know Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling have chemistry, like whatever, but Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling have such great chemistry. Julianne Moore and Steve Carell, great chemistry. Like, everyone's
top-notch actor in this movie.
Yeah, but Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell together, those scenes when they're in the mall are just so funny.
Oh yeah, like it's great.
When he's standing there naked and his dick is in his face.
No, I was gonna say that's my favorite part, where he goes like, "Hey, my schwartz is in your face. If you don't have a problem, then we have a bigger problem." His accent is so weird and great, though. It's like a fake New York kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's such a strange accent.
I don't know if that's just Ryan Gosling or that's just his character choice of talking. It's just funny to me. It's great. Yeah. It's great. His mannerisms are my favorite in this movie. Well, pre Emma, but still, like that whole, that beginning to end of him teaching Steve Carell. Amazing.
Oh,
And that
so
would
good.
like once I saw that part of the movie, I'm like, I'm sold. This is my movie.
Such good chemistry
So
together.
funny.
Apparently
But
Ryan
no, it's
Gosling
crazy. I
would
love
go
that
to
he's at the
set.
ball. He's in like this like slick, suit and like sunglasses. And he's looking like, the coolest guy in the world. And he's just like,
but like you're thinking
a pizza.
You're thinking of like Long Island. You're thinking of Long
He's
Island
having
malls.
pizza.
You're thinking of Long Island malls. This is a mall in LA, so it's a little bit different. But also, I feel like
no, I understand. But I'm saying him just saying like just him having this pizza, looking the way he does.
Oh
like, I don't care.
I actually, when I watch this movie too, I have that thought. I'm like, pizza, really?
He can eat whatever he wants. Isn't that right? Isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, do you? So apparently Ryan Gosling would go to the set when he wasn't filming scenes, and he would watch Steve Carell and just like crack up. And they would have to like tell him to be quiet on the set because he was laughing too hard. Because apparently they were on a TV show together or something like back in the day. So he like knew Steve Carell.
Didn't know that.
Or they tested for a pilot or something together. I can't remember. I'm really bad at. I know like sort of facts, not full facts. Anyway.
And then he's teaching him in the bar, and he's just striking out, and he's just being really annoying.
Yeah. He tells the story of Mr. Bobo.
Yeah.
Mr. Bobo is in the kitchen. And they're like,
Yeah. But like just the montage of just every second of just Ryan going, want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Want to get out of here? So funny.
Good. Yeah.
How many times I've done that?
I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't tell.
I'm kidding.
Oh. Did you? No, I'm kidding. So they do the whole Scarlet Letter thing too with Robbie, and
well, I want to get into Robbie, but sure, go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to talk about the whole Scarlet Letter thing because I mean, I know what the Scarlet Letter premise is, but I never read it in school. So
I read it in school.
I don't know why like they chose the Scarlet Letter to be the story of this, because it's not really the same thing as what's going on with him, his character.
No, I think it's completely wrong what he's saying. I think that's this isn't
what this is. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what it is.
But just a side note for that book, I had a project, and I was supposed to work with these other kids, and I got grouped up with these other girls, and like we're trying to do this project, and I don't know. Whenever I had a project, I basically just write a song for it to just save my grade, because I would entertain the class. And I wrote the Hanukkah song, but changed the lyrics. Basically what I've done for everything I've ever done. It's basically take a favorite song and redo the lyrics, but based on the chapter that I read for the Scarlet Letter. And I kind of remember some of it, but I just, whenever I see the Scarlet Letter now, that always pops in my head, was doing that project, and they had to ask me to come back for the later class so I could perform it again for them, because they all liked it so much.
Instant A.
Yeah. Worked every time. Almost every time, unless I really just didn't practice or study. I've made embarrassments of myself a couple times for projects that I just didn't have time to practice or learn. Anyway,
can you imagine though, like being a kid and then having someone younger than you like confess their love for you like in front of the entire
oh my gosh,
school?
that's what I want to talk about. How this kid has just no shame.
None.
Like none. And it's so funny. I had a friend like that.
To me, they like, because Steve Carell character, his dad is always like, you fight for like the person you love, and I'm like, there's a difference between fighting for them and then borderline just like stalking and just like no, like when someone tells you to stop, you need to stop. Like she clearly was like, please stop, and he just kept going and going and going. And it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, I've had
friends that I've known who were very aggressive, and not to that extent, but I think we're very much okay with being comfortable of like just being like, hey, I'm going to be appropriate because I think it's funny, and that's pretty much how that went down. But like how Robbie's just so obsessed with her to the point where he can just say anything. He just doesn't care. I think that's so funny.
I mean, like literally anything.
He's like, I'm going to win. She will be mine.
No, wait. Doesn't he say that to David Lindhagen? He's like, his dad will.
Oh yeah, we forgot about good old David.
I love that scene. It's so good when David Lindhagen's talking to Robbie.
Oh my God, the kid! I said this kid deserves all the MVP awards for this movie. He, like I said, except for Ryan Gosling, obviously being like a supporting actor who crushes it. This kid is. It's sad that you don't see him really in anything else.
Yeah,
this was like a one and done for him, and he's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. He stood up there with all of these big names and like killed it.
I just love it. His delivery. He's such a charming little kid. You just feel bad for him.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the whole point of it. You're like,
you're right.
His home life's falling apart. He loves this girl who doesn't love him back. And I'm like, oh, poor kid. But
he looks at Kevin Bacon and he's just like, he gives him the death stare. Hey. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen here. David Lindhagen. It's like Hagen. He goes like Hagen. He goes like
Hagen. Whatever. Yeah. I love that running gag in the movie because it's constantly David Lindhagen. It's like Hagen.
Yeah. So funny. He's like, do you know why I know about David Lindhagen? Because you've been yelling about it for the last 3 nights I've been here. He goes like, how would I know that? Because you've been yelling about it for the last 3 nights. MVP also goes to, who am I going to say? We forgot one person. Who is it?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Who did we forget? Should I give you a hint?
Oh, Josh Groban! Ah!
Yeah, the Grobes. The Grobes.
Someone forgot about Josh Groban. Yes, I love him in this movie. He's so
Grobes
funny.
steals it too.
He's so funny. Yes. Oh my God, he
Grobes
is amazing in this. He really does.
I forget he's in it too.
Perfect.
He's just like pops out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. He's not an actor.
Like, where
he doesn't
were
really
these
do anything.
Actors and he's like,
he's like Dave Matthews and just go with it.
But think about it. He was on The Office. I forgot about that too. But that was post Steve Carell, I think.
Was that when they were interviewing?
He's Andy's brother.
Oh my God, he is Andy's brother.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And the dad from Seventh Heaven is their dad.
Oh,
who's no longer like acting for other reasons.
Yeah.
Got a little trouble.
He was also the dad on It's Always Sunny.
Oh yeah.
He's their dad. But
Stephen Collins. Right.
I don't know his name. Yeah, I forgot he's his brother. He's so funny in this movie. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, and her friend is hilarious. I don't know who she is. She does things here and there, and she's really funny all the time. But yeah, she's really funny.
Yeah, I feel like was she one Facebook movie or something? I don't know. I feel like
you're thinking you're thinking of Brenda's Song, maybe? Wasn't the Facebook movie?
Maybe
they look kind
of similar. I haven't
similar.
seen that movie in a while, so I kind of like
they look similar.
Yeah. But it was she's fine. She's just crazy. And she's just like
I think it's just funny.
He's like, you wanna go with me right now? And you find me attractive. And she's like, she does.
Oh yeah, that first time he hits on her.
Me as a guy, I'm just like, I hate that. Where he's so arrogant and then the girl has no self-esteem. It's like, yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that she has no self-esteem. It's that she has self-esteem and she's like, I don't want this.
No. For her friend, I'm saying.
Oh, I got it.
Where she's like, yeah, she wants everything. Yeah, just don't listen to her. Because that's how she's reacting. Yeah. She's like, yep, do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. So, whatever.
So finally, Steve Carell gets to take a lady home. Cal gets to take a lady home, and that lady is Marisa Tomei.
Yes.
In like the most awkward of.
She looks. It's perfectly. I feel like they did a lot of work to make her look just perfect in that kind of schlobby yet like attractive. Yeah. I'm a mess, but still like decent enough to be taking.
I love when he orders her a drink, and she's like 5 years sober. And he's like, nope. We will be having nothing.
Yeah, but like this bar like makes me want to go there and dress up, just kind of hang out.
It's a real bar. You can go there.
But like I've never dressing up to either Ryan Styles. Oh my God, Ryan Gosling. Ryan's style is what I meant to say. In Ryan's style, and like in a suit like that, unless I was coming back from like a wedding or something. I don't think
you probably don't need to dress up, because I feel like Steve Carell was there in like sweatpants and a polo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Either one, if I dressed up either way, the result will be the same no matter what I do. So.
And you're paying like $13 for a cocktail, so.
Yeah. Probably
more.
I do love that scene where that woman comes walking over like seductively to him and hands him the bill.
That's really funny.
He has to pay for it.
But I also don't understand. So like after that interaction with Marisa Tomei's character, he like instantly becomes a ladies' man. And I'm like, he's so not a ladies' man, but he starts picking up women in the bar. And I'm like, he's so awkward.
Just showing his confidence on a height level. Like he just like developed this like a superpower, you know. And he's able to channel it now. I thought that was great.
So funny.
But it's just also that shot is awesome, how they go through that bar and he's just kind of split screen in all those different sections. I kind of want to know how they did that.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. We'll look
it's
it
really
up
cool.
After this,
I'm sure there's a bunch of trickery with the, you know, I'm sure it's one of those kind of crazy shots that did a lot of thinking power for the camera people and special effects people. But as of just like, you know, just the person watching too, it's kind of crazy because you're just like, oh, there he is again.
Yeah, especially it's on location. They didn't film that in the studio, so I can't imagine how hard, if that was somewhat
right practical. You'd have to you probably had
to
track run cameras and figure out where the head would go so you can get all those shots, maybe pre-shot. I don't know. I've been getting more into this kind of behind the scenes, especially now watching a lot of that special effects show on YouTube. I learn a lot from that show, so it's cool to see how they do a lot of just like, it's just like, so who would want to put themselves through this for like a 3-minute scene? It's just crazy to me, but it works, you know.
I mean,
this took about 10 years to make this 2-minute shot because it had to be that good.
Looks great. I mean, it looks awesome. So where are we? What happens next?
I was just questioning about your wall. Who is that above your left shoulder, or is that your right shoulder? I forget what it is. Yes, that guy.
That's me.
Yeah, I can't see. Who is it?
It's a, what is that, lenticular of me? So it goes to a skeleton.
Oh my gosh, that's so creepy. I've never seen that.
I got it done at the Haunted Mansion in Walt Disney World. Used to do this. I don't think they do it anymore. It was like $30, and they take this picture of you and then they turn it into this. It was really cool.
Cool.
I'm not gonna be able to get it back up there.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I'll do it later.
I thought it was Beetlejuice at first. Sorry, didn't mean.
No, it's okay.
To take it down.
No, I'll hang it up later. It's all right. Yeah.
So,
but where are we?
We're talking about just the humor and like the Steve Carell being able to just pick up women out of nowhere, and like how he just is so confident he starts sleeping with women like out of nowhere. But he's building his confidence. He looks better. But I love how Robbie is basically like his conscience the whole time. Like he doesn't, he sees through his dad, and he's like, yeah, he's going out a lot. And she's becoming interested. Like, how is he? You know, wants to see if he's doing okay. And like Steve, I'm going to keep calling Steve, but it's fine. Well, like, you know, he's still missing his family a lot. Yeah. He misses family a lot. And it's like so true. No matter how much it didn't mean to work, you'll never forget, or, you know, you're still going to miss everything. That was his family. You know, it's kind of sad. I felt it more this time watching it. You know, he's just like looking through the window. He sees, that's one of my favorite scenes now, him in the backyard hiding. And she calls him because I think she just had a. Oh,
that's later. That's later on.
Oh, you're right. That is later. I'm sorry.
There's two of them, but yeah, we can talk about it now.
But like my point is, he was like hiding out in the backyard, still trying to like help out around the house, and you know,
and she calls him and lies.
I've
says that she needs help.
I will briefly say I've kind of been in that situation, so I
Were
understand.
you hiding in someone's backyard?
No, not that anyone was hiding in the backyard, but I understand the importance of, I'll say this nicely, the fact that, you know, that's his family and he'll still be there to help out, is my point.
Yeah.
Help out his wife and his ex-wife. And well, did they actually get divorced? I guess so.
I don't know.
They never
I
really
guess
showed.
they did.
Or just separated. That's another thing. It's kind of like Scott and what's her name from Santa Claus? You never really know. She married Neil. We don't really know.
Oh yeah, we don't know. Well, they
we still
got
could figure it out.
divorced, but we don't know if she got married to Neil.
That's true.
Well,
okay. But anyways, back to my point. He's been like creeping around just because he misses it, and his son is like, "Yeah, I see right through your dad. Like, you're sad. I know."
Yeah, he's a very.
I
mean, I love that
he's
conversation.
Like, you look better, but you don't.
I love that conversation that they have in the hallway of the school about Robbie too, like how he's very, you know, he knows what's going on. He's very smart, but he's very weird.
Right.
I love that conversation.
That whole asshole speech is amazing too.
Oh my god,
I love it. I love it. Just another asshole. And then
I love when she calls it back and she's like, set the world record for
yeah, like, oh, try a swear jar.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, we'll try that.
Right.
As if it was like an accident of some sort. No, he did that on purpose. No. Like, no one says asshole like 16 times and doesn't mean it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm being noisy.
I think my favorite moment in the movie is that scene in the classroom before they go into the parent-teacher conferences. That conversation,
Robbie.
Well, no, the conversation that they have in the hallway, Cal and I can't remember Julianne Moore's character. That is such a beautifully written scene between those two actors, and you really believe that they love each other and that they're married, and like it's so good. Like it's really, 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 really well written, and then it just like all goes downhill from there.
Right. It's just because of Marisa. Yeah, she's great.
Did you see that? Did you see that twist coming when you first saw it? I did not see it.
No, I see. That's what I'm saying. Like this movie has so many twists, many. And I love twists. They're my favorite.
Yeah,
I love movies with twists when they're good. Anyways, when they're like, or they're like, they're impossible to figure out. But it's also just like, and especially like when it's an actor cameo twist like this. Not to say like, oh my god, I can't believe she's in this. It was just like, oh, that's a nice surprise. I didn't know she was in this, because she's not like, she's not shown in the
opening credits.
She's not featured in the cast, right? She's kinda, oh, there she is. And like same with Josh Groves. You know, he just kind of pops up and he's like, oh, you raised me up. He stands up and it's just great.
That conversation in the parent-teacher, the actual conference is so uncomfortable too. Every time I watch that scene,
it's so
like,
funny,
oh my god, I hate this. Like, imagine being in that room, like
the tension. That's what this movie does so well, having awkward tension. And you're just I can't believe this is happening.
You feel it. It's also like slightly relatable because you've either been, maybe you haven't been in that situation, but you've been in another situation that happens maybe in this movie that's like very similar, and you're like, I remember how that feels, and I don't like that feeling. Like I don't want to feel that way. Like it's they're very good at conveying that awkwardness.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in awkward situations, but this is definitely way worse than anything else.
No, not this one specifically, but maybe like there's a bunch of other awkward situations in this movie.
Oh yeah, well we haven't talked about the biggest one yet. Yeah, so but talk about Emma for a little bit. You know, she's great. She's Emma. You know, I only really saw her in which is great because I saw La La Land a few years ago before I saw this, and I saw that scene in a little bit at the end of this movie first before I saw all of La La Land. So I didn't see that chemistry between that whole scene with them getting together. I didn't see any of that.
To me, they have more chemistry in this movie than they did in La La Land.
Yes,
but that's
I agree.
Just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, and I like that movie a lot. I was about to say that it's very, very.
There's someone listening that is very close to us that is not going to agree with what we just said, but continue.
It's fine. And I'll yell at Jimmy later, so don't worry.
Jimmy's not going to agree. Both Jimmys aren't.
Jimmy does enjoy La La Land very much, though.
I don't say I don't enjoy it. I just don't. think their chemistry in this movie is like
it's very different,
and it's because it's natural. So so the scene when they're in bed together in this movie is natural. It's improvised. They gave them alcohol and they were just like, here's a scenario.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so like it's very them, like it's very natural and it shows. And I think, I don't know, I like that a lot.
Okay. I like that too. Makes it feel more natural. Yeah, I like. That's a movie. Oh, that just reminds me. You should watch a movie called, or if you haven't already, called Drinking Buddies.
I feel like you've told me about this movie before,
you
and
need
I
to
have
see
not
this
seen
movie
it
because it is for actors study how well they act in improvisation, where they know the scene and they are improvising almost word for word the movie. Because it's so natural, you believe you're watching a documentary. It's like,
wow.
And I don't always like that, but I'm like, for like supposedly a rom-com, and it has like these kind of awkward situations that deals with, friends hooking up kind of thing too. It's one of my favorite movies, in the sense that, like, I don't think it's the best movie I've ever seen, but like one of my favorite movies I've ever seen, how unique it was.
Okay.
And I was just like, Olivia Wilde's in it. She's crazy in it. She's crazy great in it. And Jake Johnson, one of Jake Johnson's best things I've seen him in.
I feel like I've heard of this movie now that I think about
Nick
it. It's
Miller
like newer,
from,
right?
Came out a few years ago. I found it on Netflix. I was like, oh, it's Jake Johnson. I'll throw that on. And I was just watching it. It takes place at like a brewery, and these like brewery people, and how they would just drink all the time. It makes me feel like, yep, this is very real to people who are like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a side note, but check that movie out. And it has that, like you're saying, that improvisational, natural flow. And you can kind of get that, like you said, that chemistry right, because you can tell that this is like not being like so much lines delivered. It's like, even if it was, it's well done. But I believe that. I could see it either way going, because they're just so good at their their roles or whatever.
That's it's also a great sequence of scenes.
I was gonna say Ryan Reynolds with his shirt off. I understand, even though it's Ryan Gosling. I know I said it wrong.
It's Ryan Gosling. No, I was gonna say
whatever their names are.
The scene with Josh Groban, with him, she thinks he's gonna propose to her. His behavior is so funny, Josh Groban, in that scene. And then,
by the way, that also happens in La La Land. Just so you know.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember that movie that much. I gotta see it again.
She's at the dinner and she's like, just gets up and leaves, and goes sees him at the theater. It's pretty much the same thing. All right, I know that movie better than you, but that's like,
really?
every time I watch this, I'm like, that happened in La La Land. Yeah, and it's like, go run to Ryan Gosling. That is his name, right?
Yes, it's Ryan Gosling, not Ryan Reynolds.
Whatever.
And
we just did a Ryan Reynolds movie, so we're on.
Yes. I for a second I thought you meant Ryan Gosling, and I was like, no, he didn't.
Well, he was in the movie that was in the movie.
What?
Sparks the Notebook.
Oh yeah.
Well, you don't see him. You see whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The older version of it. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting off topic, but I had to mention that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just love the scene from when she's with Josh Groban and she thinks he's proposing and he's a total douche, and then she somehow like walks to the bar in the rain, even though it's probably not near it at all in any way. And then his apartment is insane, like that no, it's a house.
It's not an apartment. It's a mansion.
I mean it's a real mansion. I forget where it is in California, but it's in LA, I think. I forget what it is, but that's insane. Just totally like over the top and ridiculous. And she knows it, and she makes it clear, and it's funny. I loved her a lot in this movie, but and he like makes her a drink, but doesn't just like make her a drink. Like if I made someone a drink, I would take 2 ingredients and stir them together, but he like makes a drink. Yeah. Like muddles it and like does all these crazy things, and I'm
just had to show off more than what he can do. Like it wasn't enough.
Yeah, but like that's his whole.
But this is where you start to see him peeling his facade off a little bit.
Yeah,
like he has a heart, and he's not just a cold like you said, just ladies man, just kind of, that's like his, yes, that's what he does, but it's like he has this girl just breaks him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because she sees kind of through him too. Like,
yeah,
she
but
sees
like it took her
through
to
that
just
outer
be
layer.
almost so innocent, but he still found her still charming and attractive enough to still want to do those things. But he's like, what's the point at this point? Like, I've done it so many times, but I'm actually feeling someone because this person actually gave crap about me in a different way.
Asking him questions and he wants to answer them. Right. Whereas like that breaks his rule.
Yes.
Like he never
so
answers
that's what I mean.
You
could say like whoever thought of that idea was pretty genius. Be like, okay, this is usually a turning point for people to actually want to, to open themselves up. That is usually when the lightning strikes. So even though there was rain in the background, I'm sure there was lightning somewhere. But the dirty dancing thing is fantastic.
My god, yeah. Well, so that
I work dirty dancing into the conversation. How he talks like that.
That wasn't in the script. I think they found out that Ryan Gosling could do it, so they put it into that scene. And then Emma Stone couldn't do the lift because she was afraid.
Is that not her?
He went to go, it's a body double because every time he went to lift her, she would like freak out. So it's like,
that makes sense.
Like it's her screams, but it's a body double up in the air because she couldn't do it. But it's such a nice.
It works either way because you get the cool shot from like way back, and you just see them like through the house. So it works both ways. So why not? Why not? You can't tell. Works for me.
It's great. And the Brookstone, not Brookstone, what is it called?
Chair.
The massage chair. Yeah, it's so funny. Just like unnecessary money to spend on something that you need because it's expensive. But like,
he has everything in the world, but like an actual, human. I guess use like self-love. He doesn't, or whatever you want to call that, for himself.
Yeah.
He channels all of it and redirects it back into just having it more of a game. And he, it's almost like gambling.
It's funny though, because he doesn't seem to have friends either, but yet he opens up he doesn't really open up to Steve Carell, but they become friends too. Like by the end of whatever him helping him. So like he opens up also to him a little bit to let him in, not like necessarily how he opens up to Emma Stone's character, but he's still like, this person's my friend. You want to? I think
ultimately he does see Steve. He does see Cal as a dad because he says how he talks about him. His dad died young. You start to understand these pieces. Like, you remind me of somebody, probably his dad. It wasn't about him. It was like his dad, which makes a lot of sense because he sees a lot of himself probably somewhere buried in the Ryan Gosling facade. His dad is there too, but his mother was more the shell. And that's what he carries along with him. I find that interesting. When this time around, I was like trying to piece a lot of what he's saying together. I'm like, for character purposes.
His mom's very.
There's a lot.
I think he said she's
some
very
deeper
vain.
parts to it. I really enjoy now watching it again and again. I pick up more on it, and I could watch this movie over and over again. I think I watched it it was on HBO last year. I watched it like every night it was on. So I'm like, I gotta do this on now. So it's great.
Wait, let's get to the finale because there's not much that happens between this.
All right. Do you love the ending of this movie?
Yes.
Okay. No, that's fair. I like it. I definitely like it. At first, I was like, "Oh, that's it." Like, I wanted a little bit more of something else, but it makes perfect sense the second or third time I've seen it.
Well, first of all, Robbie tells his dad that he needs to like fight for his mom, so he puts together this like elaborate he recreates their first date at the mini golf course, but
not
at the
just
same
his
time,
mom.
What?
Yeah.
What? You were breaking up.
You fight for your soulmates.
Oh, soulmates. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Sorry.
But at the
ironically,
same time,
you were talking about the mom and the dad too.
Jessica also takes nude photos of herself and stores them away to give to Cal later on, but her parents find them. Her dad blows up on the same day that this romantic like date is happening. And then you get the big reveal that Emma Stone is actually Steve Carell, is Cal, and Julianne Moore's character's actual daughter, which honestly that blew my mind when I first saw this. I was not expecting it. I guess I wasn't paying attention because, well, they never really say Hannah. They say Nana. They say Nana.
Yeah.
And then Josh Groban calls her Anna Banana or something weird like that.
I think it was just a misdirect because like he must have realized that like if he was going to go on talking about his kids or something, that he would have picked up on maybe something like not that it could have been the same person, but like still it would have been kind of weird. But it could be wrong. Maybe that was the whole plan the whole time, but it was just like more of a misdirect for Ryan Jake to like not know who the hell she was. Possibly. I don't know.
He never talks about Hannah to Ryan Gosling, I don't think, right? He never mentions her.
So like she never mentions. Yeah. And she never mentions her dad or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised. I don't know why.
Maybe she did, but
whatever.
I mean, maybe she like talked about in like very vaguely.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is it blew my mind when I first saw this. I was not expecting that at all. But then like once they started in that scene, when they started talking about my other daughter, I was like, oh, okay, well then that's what's going to happen. But it still blew my mind because I never expected it up until that moment.
Yeah.
And then David Lindhagen also winds up being there. Oh, because she forgot her sweater in the car. So all the characters finally converge and they get into this big brawl. Ryan Gosling punches David Lindhagen in the face, which is like my favorite.
I call this scene the crash scene because if you ever see the movie Crash, that's like what it is. Like, all those characters have a different plot and then they all crash together, and that's exactly what happens here, which is amazing. I love that because it's just awkward fun, and it's just so much fun how many stories are just boom, 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 like dominoes, just all falling down at once. It's so great. But I laugh so hard, by the way, when he just looks at Steve Carell and freezes. Ryan Gosling's just like he just comes out with that. Just like
they like both can't believe it.
Like he's frozen. I love it. I just think it's so funny. He's just like, what? But like, and then they mentioned like it's like you left your sweater in my car. Kevin Bacon, and he's just like, "Who are you?"
Like, who are you?
Okay.
Then he takes his ring off and passes him. Yeah.
He takes the ring.
Know how much pain and suffering you caused my friend over here?
Yeah, that is amazing. No holding back. Just I got this. I got enough of my friend here. Even though I'm banging his daughter now by accident.
Yeah,
it's like a mess.
I mean, I love that because Steve Carell, like he knows way too much about Ryan Gosling, like way too much about his life.
It's like a love octagon that goes on. It's like not a triangle, but it's like
an octagon.
So many different, how many different people it is, but yeah.
You also feel like this is how the movie's going to end, like in this moment, and then it all just like explodes. Like with the mini golf thing, you're like, oh, they're gonna get back together,
right?
And then no, all these dominoes fall, and you're like, oh no.
So I guess for a first viewing, that must have been an amazing experience. If I hadn't had it almost pretty much spoiled because I saw that scene first, and I was just like, what's going on? And then I had literally the person explain to me what was going on. So I kind of was like, oh, okay. A little bit of spoiler, but not really, because I didn't know how it all went down, and like I still enjoyed every moment up until that point, and I'm like, oh, this is the point where everything, but still, and it made more sense this time too. I understand all the other characters being involved. I saw all of it happen, and I love how it was like they're all just sitting there, just all beat up. Just, like the cops are like, just keep it inside next time.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's laugh. Oh no, he's like, keep it in the family or something. And Ryan Gosling's like giggling.
Yeah. I got two more things, but the that whole scene of him at the bar and
when
yeah, with Ryan coming to him and be like, hey, I'm doing great. They miss you, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's trying to convince him to come back to,
yeah.
out
And
of his
he's
funk.
trying to express how he feels. And
yeah, because at that point you think there's like some forgiveness involved, and it's like, no, he's not a forgiving guy. He's like, I will protect my family no matter what.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't trust you at all. I don't care how much you've done for me. That's my family. I'm still protecting them. I think that's at this point, like watching it a third or fourth time, I get that scene more and more. At first, I was just like, he's really not going to care about. He's really not going to do anything about this. It's like, nope. And it's just like that. Steve Carell's acting in that scene is really well done.
When
he says like, I'm not going to give you my approval, he's like, he means it. Like it's so cool.
Like I had Hannah when I was like 17. I don't know. I forget what he said, but
yeah, you're right. 17.
Yeah,
he takes a shot and he's like, yep, she spit.
She's spitting it. Yeah.
I feel like that was improv.
It definitely was improv. Yeah. I forget what he calls her. He's like, he doesn't call her bar wench.
He goes like, thank you, cocktail person.
Servant or something like that, or cocktail servant or cocktail person.
Yeah.
Thank you, cocktail person.
It's like he goes like, the time itself would have sufficed or something. Would have been just fine. She's like, it's 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's really a funny. It doesn't have to be funny, but it is funny.
No.
And it still works with the very serious tone of the scene, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
Does the last scene, not the last scene, but like the graduation scene, make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's the part that I just don't get.
I don't get
Everyone's
it.
just kind of like letting this happen. Like that would never happen.
Yeah, like
so weird.
Never.
That's the only part that kind of takes me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I get it, and it's funny. And it's like sweet because it's like, it's kind of like this what do you call them, like, the big speech that he needs to have for him to give to his wife on this scale, where it's like, I don't care, I have to protect, once again, like I have to stand up for my son and stand up for what I believe in. And he's so he had his son basically to save him from losing himself, to just becoming not more like Ryan, but just like more like not being a good dad. He's not being a good step or ex-husband. He's not doing anything. So his son is just like kind of like based on his ability to, I just love how he is the key to just getting everybody to kind of see how it, things got bad, but he helps everybody turn around because he's so pure.
Yeah. I don't know. It still makes me uncomfortable.
What's that?
It still makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, this is weird. Like if this happened at my kid's school.
Oh yeah.
Event,
I felt the same way. That's the only part that takes me out. And then afterward, I like, because it's this sweet moment between everybody, kind of just making up sort of way, not making up, but you know what I mean? Like they kind of all have their everything gets resolved, is what I'm saying, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, and we don't know, they might not end up together. Like that's why I like it, because
it's up to interpretation.
His wife, they might not. They seem like maybe they're in a place where they need to start fresh, but like they realize that they do love each other, and I think that's the way it's supposed to end. Like they're not supposed to be like, let's get, like, maybe they never got a divorce. We don't know.
You don't know. Like I said, they never went through it. I don't think they were.
Yeah, maybe they didn't.
She wanted one. They had separated, but I don't know if they actually. Divorced.
And then
I don't think so. What's up?
Jessica gives the nude photo to the 13-year-old boy, which makes me very uncomfortable.
Does that make you feel icky? I'm like,
yeah, it makes me feel icky.
It
makes me feel icky. I don't like it. Like, I mean, her taking the nude pictures and trying to give it to an adult, icky. But then also her trying to give it, because I mean, she's underage, he's underage, so icky. It's icky.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's icky.
Yeah. But I think it's like the realistic part of that Yeah, it's
yeah.
really,
I mean, maybe that did happen.
the law is
but
not
as an adult,
yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
As an adult,
icky.
yeah, you don't want that. Not at all. But anyways, it's like, you want to get over me? Here, have a good day.
Yeah, it's like, oh, icky.
Yeah.
But in reality, though,
But-
it's like weird because they're only 3 years apart. And like, I don't know how far apart your parents are. My parents are 5. They didn't date in high school. Obviously, they met like way later, but they're 5 years apart. And it's not
3. I think.
weird. Well, also my dad's older than my mom. So it's a little different, but like still 5 years
Same.
isn't a big deal.
No, my mom's older than my dad. So
5
technically
years
3.
or 3 years. Yeah. I mean, but they didn't date in high school, did they?
No.
So, I mean, when did they start dating?
In middle school.
Wait, really? Oh. Yeah, like once you get of age, like once you're like legal, like once you're like 18, it's fine. But like, I don't know. I feel like minors dating minor. Oh, maybe it's not weird because we did date each other. And never mind. I don't know what my point is. Forget it. Ignore me. It's icky. I don't.
I
like
see
it.
your point. It's icky because she's much older than him, and it's like,
it's not like they like they're dating, like holding hands. Like,
no, but it's okay. This is part of my note taking. I said, you know what I call this?
what?
I call this the peppercorn syndrome.
Peppercorn.
Because that's the same
also,
thing.
I'm pretty sure I said that was icky too.
Yes, you did. But
I did.
they got married and had 9 kids.
That's true. They did.
Because
So then, maybe Robbie
time had to pass. It's like, it's
and
icky
Jessica
because
have
it's
kids?
that
Get
like,
married.
child and adult bridge that
Yeah.
have to cross still. So I get it, and it's right. It's like, it's still not appropriate and it's still gross. But you wait a few more years, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean it's true. Maybe they did go on a date in high school and got married, had kids.
If I were to actually put the
Soulmates.
person that I was with, how old I was at his age, could be a lot worse. I'm saying
Gotcha.
some people have a bigger age gap.
I get what you're saying.
That won't fly at all.
No, that won't fly.
If I was 13, do the math.
Yeah, I don't.
Just saying.
Well, I mean, Steve Carell's character meets his wife in middle school.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to assume that there is no age gap there, but maybe there is an age gap.
Maybe.
Who knows?
No, I think there is same age for some reason. I thought he said thought they were, because I feel like they were in the same grade in high school or something. Didn't he say something like that? I could be wrong. I can't remember.
I don't know. I just remember there's a story of his dad driving them to get ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I think that makes sense. I think they're about the same age.
Yeah.
All right.
How old are they in this movie? How old are they in this movie?
She says 45.
She says that?
43, 45. I don't know. Yeah, she said in the beginning of the movie, she's like, I never envisioned myself being a 40-something-year-old mom with this and that. I don't know if you remember that in the beginning. Like 44, maybe she said.
So then how old's Emma Stone's
44,
character?
maybe she said.
Emma Stone's character is going to law school, so she has to be at least 23.
Well, I was trying to do the math too. I was like, I'm gonna give myself a headache because I just don't feel like doing math right now.
So maybe she's older than 23.
It was 40.
If they were 17, so maybe she's 25.
Yeah,
which then I guess kind of adds up. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure they did the math.
Oh, also, so did you know that the girl who plays Jessica and Emma Stone are actually the same age?
Oh yeah, I learned something crazier today about age.
I think Jessica's only the actress that plays Jessica is like 4 days older than Emma Stone or something like that. Yeah. So
that's
she's
happened
playing
in
a high
movies.
school student.
10 Things I Hate About You, which is another romantic comedy I would love to talk about. But
it's one of my favorite movies. I love it.
We might have to talk about that one next.
We might have to do 2 months of Romancuary.
I'm ready.
No, we have a plan for next week.
We have February. That's why I said it's Romancuary into February. So both.
No, we have something we're doing
that nobody does anything.
We can't switch.
No, that one's fine. That one's locked, I think. But
yes, okay. Maybe
is that next week already?
Yeah, because I think we were supposed to do it after this one. right?
I gotta
don't know,
check the calendar, but I know what you're saying. Yeah. But I was saying about the I found out today that well, that's like I said, 10 things I hate about you. Julia Stiles was actually younger than her sister, Alex Mack, in real life. So, but she just has that edge that makes her seem older. But and same with I found this out today. You've never seen Karate Kid movies, right?
When I was younger, I haven't seen them in years.
Yeah. So, but I found out today there's a guy in the third movie who's like the bad guy, who like is like a sensei to Ralph Macchio. And you assume he's just way older. And I found out Ralph Macchio is older than that guy.
Oh, crazy. Interesting.
And he looks way older. Ralph Macchio is like
except for recently,
you could tell by his face he's
but...
older and he's done work and hair stuff now. But like,
yeah, definitely.
He just always looked very, very, very young.
Yeah,
just didn't age fast at all.
No, until recently, and now it's kind of like noticeable.
Yeah, but like I said, it's older, like
you
probably always had that. You just had to be around him to realize he was that age. But still, it's like he has a build of like a young guy.
Definitely
crazy. Yeah, guy's 60-something years old. Crazy.
Oh, is he really? Wow, that's crazy. Yep. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, that's Crazy Stupid Love. Highly suggest it for a rom-com.
And it's love. I enjoy talking about this one, especially. That was a good call thinking of this one. I was watching a lot last year, and I have to bring up two more things.
Okay.
Two more things before we go. The ending song of this movie. I don't know who does it. I don't know if you like it.
Sing it.
I call it. It was something about like the songs of that time period. I always also felt like they overused like children singing in the background, or it just sounded like children. I felt like it was a lot of songs back then in those mid 2000s,
like 2010s,
2005 on. I felt like there's always these children singing.
Wait, what song is it though? Why can't I think of it?
It goes like, like it's just like, what is that? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do, but I don't know what song it is.
I don't either, but I felt like this is a good song. Making me realize it's a good song. It's serious. Has the children singing.
If they're
like,
even
this is an indie, like you must have to listen to I don't know, the Smiths or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm making that up. But like that kind of like I don't know. I just feel like it's just like an indie film kind of choice song that they end on.
Yeah. What was your second thing? You had two things you said.
I know. I was trying to remember the second one. I think it was just the other. Oh yeah, just the music. I love it's like a jazz thing that they have during the montage. It's like I can't even do it right now. But to just comment on the music in this movie, because like you said, it's just soundtrack of Dirty Dancing, and then just whatever.
Yeah, there's really not much music
in this movie, but that song I had to mention, and then just the jazz I like a lot when they're just like going through the shops and getting him all fixed up to go back out, get him the makeover.
Yeah, other than that, there's really nothing noticeable music-wise in this, I don't think, right? Yeah.
That's it. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, except for that, there's that one song when he comes out through the door after he brings Marisa Tomei home. There's that song. I need love, 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 love.
Oh,
love, love. Yeah, I don't know what the name of that song is. Anyway, on that note.
Great job, everybody. Good times talking to you about this one. This is a fun, happy Romancuary again. I look forward to our next week episode, which I believe is that episode that we talked about. I could be wrong, right? That'd be for next week.
I think so. Yeah, for next week.
I think so. I think you're right. I can't believe how fast this month ended.
I know.
Can't wait to talk about that one. There's a lot to talk about. I have so much to talk about that episode. So
same. Yeah. All right, everyone. It's been fun. Oh no, there was a message stuck on my screen. I couldn't get off. Bye.